Last week, the National Consumer Tribunal found that by adding the club fee to the credit agreement or credit facility process, Edcon Holdings Limited has contravened the National Credit Act. In response to the judgment, Edcon said that it has always contended that the club product is a standalone product which entitles voluntary signed-up members to a number of benefits, including preferential rates and savings with many of their affinity partners. To talk more about this, we are joined in studio by Bernie Brookes, who's the CEO of Edcon Holdings Limited. Great to have you, Bernie. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so Edcon has studied, obviously, the findings from the court. What is your next step? What are you going to do?
So we will, by the end of day today, put in an appeal, and that appeal will enable us to therefore get the judgment standard aside. And from that judgment, then we will appeal through, firstly, the Supreme Court, and then secondly, if that's unsuccessful, the High Court, and even potentially the Constitution Court. So remember, the problem is not necessarily with the club. The problem is how we debit the club fees through our card program. And I think there's a very elaborate delineation. There's nothing wrong with the club card. It's a fantastic program and one that rewards our customers well.
Yeah. So with this fee that you're debiting customers with, are you the only retailer that does something like this?
No, it's a global practice, but also it's a practice that's quite common in South Africa. So to some extent, we will probably be the test battery for all other retailers. But to charge a fee as we do, which varies from 35 to 59 Rand per month for a customer, they can secure up to 17,000 Rand benefits per year. For example, if I just take the last 12 months, we've given 100,000 people discounts on cinema tickets. We've given 25,000 people discounts on Mango Airlines. We've given nearly 35,000 people discounts at dentists and doctors. We've paid out nearly 6 million Rand in funeral benefits. And if I just take 4 days last week, there were 55,000 customers that come shopping at our Edgar store that took advantage of some great deals and bargains only because they're a club member. So it's a fantastic program that's low cost. We've got over 1 million customers, and we've got tens of thousands of customers each month joining the program.
Yeah, 1 million customers. And if we have a look at what we're talking about, is that according to the judgment, which you say you're going to appeal, from 2000 and 2016, they basically 4.7 billion Rand is how much the consumers have paid to be a part of this. And they, of course, want you to, in some way, reimburse the consumer, which obviously you don't want to do.
Well, we have no plans to do that. I mean, the program is a standalone. The issue here is not the club program. It's how we collect the fees. And we're collecting the fees as part of our normal credit arrangement. It goes onto their balance each month, and they get debited or they pay it each month. I mean, if you think about the alternative, and actually a customer comes shopping, say, 6 to 8 times a year in one of our stores, they've got to come in every month and pay their club fee. It's so convenient to have it attached to their credit statement, and they secure their payment as part of their credit statement. They stay a member of the club, and it's very easy. Remember, they get the option to opt in, and they get the option to opt out. I remember you saying when you were doing the interview with the National Credit Regulator, you'd opted out. And people can opt in or out at any moment. But I think, why aren't they opting out? Because the benefits far outweigh the expenditure that you make each month.
So let's look at the judgment. It stated that any purchase of any product must be an entirely separate transaction which does not in any way form part of a credit agreement or credit facility application process, and the tribunal found that by adding the club fee to the credit agreement or credit facility process, Edcon contravened the National Credit Act. I mean, it's in black and white, so you have to agree in a way.
I think that is a very clear and precise statement. However, the key to it is a product, the word product. So remember, the club is a product. You buy a product. We used to sell it as a shrink-wrapped product, which is in the form of cards. Now we sell it as an ongoing card associated with our Edcon card. So what does that mean? It means that it is a product. It's a product like when you buy airtime. It's a product like when you buy a gift card. And when you use it whenever you want to use it, you take advantage of the discounts whenever you want to take advantage. I think the interpretation of whether it is a product or whether it is a fee is where the delineation occurs from a legal point of view. And that's the part that we will take on through both the Supreme Court initially and then the High Court if necessary later.
You know, I think one of the complaints as well, and some of the customers complaining, and I put myself into it because I'm glad you did hear the interview, is that when I was signing up for an account, and this was many, many years ago, in fact, I was still at university, so I actually was, I probably shouldn't have even been allowed to get an account, but that's another story. I wasn't aware that I was signing up for this, and then I would pay for it every month, and then I realized it was getting more and more, and I couldn't understand why. Finally, I found out what it was. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone, and I'm sure there are many other people that have signed up and they don't even realize that they've signed for this club fee.
So I think if people have signed the club fee, then more than likely they are taking advantage of it. But in your instance, not taking advantage of it and unfamiliar with it, then you've got the opportunity to opt out. And that's what makes the case from the National Credit Regulator quite odd, because this is something you can opt in or opt out at any time. You're not forced to take it. It's not compulsory when you take credit at Edcon. It's actually an option, an optional extra that we think provides 17,000 Rand worth of benefits each year to a customer if they take full advantage of it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Edcon, though, because it's been a difficult time for you at this point. We're seeing your finances are not looking so great. Edcon, this must have a reputational damage to a certain extent as well. The company, how are you dealing with this? I mean, this is something certainly that you cannot afford at this time, and you will fight it, obviously. I mean, to pay the consumers back is something you can't do.
No, we can't do it, and I think and there's no plans to do it. And remember, this trial has been undertaken on its merits. There are no sanctions at all against the company. And if by chance there are sanctions against the company, they will be many, many years away. So we're not expecting anything to change in our club program over the next many, many years. And we will go through the process of both the High Court. We will start reselling our club program at the moment we put the appeal in later today or tomorrow morning. So from our point of view, it's business as usual. However, your comment in regard to Edcon is right. The business has just undergone one of the largest debt to equities that's ever occurred. And that means our debt has gone down from nearly 28 billion Rand down to under 6 billion Rand. That's a significant change in the landscape of the business. We've preserved the 45,000 jobs, and the only alternative to that was business rescue, and we're now going about re-engineering. So we've taken our profit down deliberately so we can invest in customer service. We can make sure that our club card and many of our offers are very, very attractive. We can reward our customers more, and equally we can spend some money on stores and we can get our product right. So we're making wholesale change. So this is inconvenient, but from a customer's point of view, it's business as usual. They still get their cheaper Mango flights. They still get their advantage at the dentists and doctors that they use where they get discounts. They can still buy their cinema tickets very, very inexpensively, and they've got good funeral insurance as well from us. So it's business as usual, plenty of benefits to go with a very low-cost club.
You know, at the end of the day, this is with credit, because at the end of, and this I can say is that people, you get this onto your account, and every month if you don't pay it, you're paying more and you're paying more and you're paying more, and you're getting yourself into trouble. So, you know, it does come with a massive downfall.
But I think credit in this country is deteriorating at a rapid rate from a retail point of view. If I go back 5 years ago, over 50% of our transactions that occurred with credit. Today it's down to 38%. And if you look at the retail landscape across the whole of South Africa, you've seen similar levels of decline in the use of credit. So we're becoming less reliant on credit, and people are paying with cash. Our focus groups say that it's not because credit is expensive. The interest rates have been capped at 20%, so they've actually come down over 4% on average through all of the retailers in this country. However, what's happened is people are less able to use credit, or less want to use credit. They're worried about job security. They're worried about the cost of education. As we run focus groups, they're saying, I'd rather not use credit, I'd rather use cash. 62% of our customers are now using cash. I expect that to grow. I think this will become very much a cash and potentially maybe a credit card or a debit card society with less reliance on credit. But that's going to take the next generation for that to occur.
Ever since the ruling, have you found that a lot of people have opted out of the club fee now?
No, not at all. In fact, we've had record numbers join over the last couple of months, and in the last week we've not seen a sudden decrease in the number of people joining, and we've not seen an increase in the number of people opting out. But that option's always there. We get new people come in, new people exit as they say, I don't need it, I don't want a funeral benefit, I don't want the cheap Mango flights, I don't want to take advantage of let's say, for example, we provide roadside assistance. So all of those benefits are there. If they don't want to take them, they can opt out at any time. But there's quite a few people seeing the benefit of it and signing up.
All right, we'll leave it there for this morning, but Bernie, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks,
CEO of Edcon Holdings Limited, that's Bernie Brookes, talking about this ruling, which he has stated they are certainly going to be appealing. All right, we take a break. We're talking water shortages.